Today I'm going to be demonstrating the machine's draft tool side by side for a synchronized CBS sports draft. Now, the machine's draft tool can be found under Draft Central, Draft Tools. Three of our products offer our draft tool: the Machine Dynasty, the Machine Full Season, and the Machine Draft. I have the Machine Full, so I'm going to click that, and now the machine's going to load up. This should only take a few seconds, but right now it's reading the state of my season, it's reading my scoring rules, it's reading my roster rules, and I'm in the draft state right now. If I wanted to change to pre-draft or in-season, I could do so, but I'm going to hit continue, and now my scoring rules are already in place. My roster rules are already in place. It knows how many starters I have at each position. The one setting I might want to change is found under League Setup, Draft Position Settings. Now from here, I can tell the machine not to consider a certain position until a certain round. So last year, some of the feedback we got was the machine was recommending kickers and defenses too high. And we improved the logic of the machine to understand that kickers and defenses aren't as valuable as the other positions. And we're constantly improving that. However, we figured, why not give you the control to tell the machine how you want to run your draft? So if I don't want to take a defense until round 8, and I don't want to take a kicker until round 12, I simply type 8 and 12 and save to the Advanced Sports Logic server. Now what that does is that allows me, if I leave this draft, I can come back in and my settings will stay. You can set this for any of the other positions, but I don't mind taking any of these other positions in round 1 if that's the recommendation of the machine. But if I decided I never wanted to take a tight end until a certain round, I could set that as well. But now I'm ready to draft. And I can enter my draft room from draft pick recommendations. And it's simply reading my new changes I made. And from here I see my draft board. Now I'm not sure if this is the actual draft order yet. It's over an hour before the start of my draft. But once my draft order is set, the machine will understand exactly that draft order, and it'll follow here. And as picks are made, they'll come on the board here. Once I'm on the clock, my draft pick recommendations will automatically fill with the players the machine thinks I should take. And if I click Make Draft Pick Recommendations at any time, I can see who the machine's top players are. In this league, quarterbacks and running backs are more valuable than the other positions. It's not a PPR league. In PPR leagues, generally you see a lot more wide receivers recommended by the machine than your standard draft tools. Above I can see my needs by position, and this simply tells me how much a player will help me from that position. And I see a probability to win pie chart. Now, starting out, each team has an 8.3% chance to win because I'm in a 12-team league, and generally speaking, the machine doubles your chance to win. I have yet to do a draft where I followed the machine's guidance and I didn't at least double my chance to win. Below, we see a list of all the players in fantasy football sorted by total fantasy points. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. If we click the drop-down menu, we can look at tight ends, kickers, defense, and special teams. Okay, our draft's about to start, so I'm going back into the draft pick recommendations. And we see the teams lined up as they are in the draft order. Okay, the first overall pick is in, and it's Arian Foster, followed by Adrian Peterson. And you can see the machine is keeping right up within 5 seconds here. And then Jamal Charles. And I believe that leaves our top recommendation of Doug Martin available. And it does. So there were 2 players the machine or one player the machine had ranked higher. But we can still take Doug Martin here, and I just simply look at my list, decide if I want that player, click on him in CBS, and click draft. And I'll see my slice of the pie get bigger. 12.2%, up from 8.3. And we'll watch that grow as it goes on. I do want to point out that the machine does understand that since this isn't a PPR league and the roster sizes aren't that huge, the machine really understands the value of quarterbacks. Quarterbacks score 6 points per touchdown in this league. In a lot of leagues, they score 4 or they score 5. But with the quarterback scoring 6 points, it's going to be important to get a good quarterback. I'm not sure that I'll get Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees, but I would be shocked if the machine didn't come away with a top 6 or top 7 quarterback. Now, here I'm going to actually take the second recommendation of the machine, Steven Jackson, because I still think I can get Tom Brady or Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, or maybe even in the 4th round. So we always recommend taking from the top 3, and maybe even on down to the top 5. But you don't necessarily always have to take the top recommendation of the machine to get a good player. There's some other good players recommended up here. As you can see, there's only a 0.3% chance to win the championship difference between Steven Jackson and Tom Brady. So if I'm more comfortable with Steven Jackson, I'll take Steven Jackson. Okay, we're back on the clock again. And we have an interesting decision to make. We can take Tom Brady. We can take Russell Wilson. We can take Matt Ryan, Jimmy Graham, Demaryius Thomas. Now, again, I'm going to do some investigating here. And I see that Jimmy Graham is the top-rated player on the CBS draft board. So I know he's going to go soon. But my quarterback I really like is 15 or 20 players down here. Now I have to kind of guess if there's enough risk for this to be worth it to take Jimmy Graham over Tom Brady. 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 16, 17. Yep, I better take Tom Brady, because that's too far, and we want Tom Brady. So we want to have a great quarterback, so we're just going to lock him up. The thought process a lot of times can be these teams are going to generally follow the CBS recommendations because they're playing in a CBS league. And knowing that, we know that there is a chance we could get some of these players coming back the other way. But after doing the math, I decided it wasn't worth it. Okay, we just saw Wes Welker go, and this leaves open the guy we've been kind of crossing our fingers for, and that's Chris Ivory. He's the machine's top recommendation by a little bit here, and he fills that flex position for us. Okay, we're back on the clock again, and the machine is recommending Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan. Once Vincent Jackson went, it really sees value in grabbing our backup quarterback, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. The choice really, to me, comes down to Matt Ryan or Russell Wilson. And that's a tough one for me because I love Matt Ryan's consistency. But Russell Wilson is one of those guys that could really take off. And the machine has them ranked almost identically. But we'll follow the machine here with that 0.1% chance to win over Matt Ryan. We'll grab him. Okay, we're on the clock again, and we basically have a group of wide receivers left that the machine wants us to take. And that seems like a good idea to me. I am a big Torrey Smith fan, so I will again take the machine's top recommendation. We're sitting at a 13.8% chance to win, so we haven't quite doubled our chance to win yet, but we're starting to get closer. The picks are really starting to add up, and as the draft goes on and on, that's generally when the machine really starts to pull away. Because as teams are making bad picks, the machine is making good pick after good pick. It's pretty easy to get, the first and the second round to get pretty good players then. But, when it comes to building a championship team, that's really done in the later rounds, and the machine understands how to do that. Okay, the machine has given me 3 players all of equal value here. They all give me a 14.1% chance to win. And a little further down, we've got a lot of 14% chances to win. I am going to take Mike Williams of Tampa Bay. He's my favorite of these top recommendations here. So we'll grab him. It's the same win percentage as Jonathan Stewart. So really, we're taking essentially the top recommendation of the machine again. So we've only not taken the top recommendation of the machine once, and we're at a 14.1% chance to win. And when we didn't take that top recommendation, we took the second guy because we thought we could get him a little bit later, and we did. So we ended up doing really well so far. And the next highest percent chance to win is 11.7. So we're really starting to pull away here. Okay, we're back on the clock here, and defenses are started to put in the mix of the machine's recommendations, which is good because a couple of defenses just went. So I have that tuned pretty much right where I want it. And we're being recommended to take the Bears defense, which is the machine's #1 rated defense right now. And I am perfectly okay taking them, so I will grab them. And we're at a 17.1% chance to win. Okay, the machine is recommending either the Broncos defense, Denarius Moore, or Josh Gordon. And I think I'm going to pass on the Broncos defense for right now. And I think I'm going to take Josh Gordon. I really like, personally, drafting suspended players because they generally get undervalued, I think. And he's not going to be suspended, hopefully, during the playoffs, the fantasy playoffs. So if I can draft a team that's good enough to get me to the playoffs, he might really help my chance to win. The machine does understand this and has these guys pushed up pretty far. So we'll take Josh Gordon here, and maybe we'll get lucky and get to take the Broncos with our next pick. Okay, we're on the clock again, and we get to take Denarius Moore. One of our top recommendations last time is still around. Someone did grab the Broncos, but that's okay. We can take Denarius Moore and be pretty happy with that. So we are sitting at a 17.6% chance to win. So we've more than doubled it so far, and we'll see what we end up with our next pick. Okay, we're back on the clock, and the machine's recommending the Patriots, the Texans, or Jermichael Finley. And I think we'll just go ahead and take the Patriots here. Pair them up to have two great defenses to play matchups. That'll give me an 18.5% chance to win. Okay, well, I was hoping we'd get Jermichael Finley, but he just went right with the pick before us. And kickers are starting to come into the mix of our recommendations. So we'll go ahead and take the Machine's top recommended player, which is Matt Bryant. He's actually the Machine's second-ranked kicker right now. And he kicks in a dome, which is pretty big for me. Okay, we're on the clock again. And the Machine is recommending a bunch of guys right around the same amount. There's not a lot left for tight ends, so our team is going to have a little bit of a weakness at tight end, but that's okay. I like picking up Brian Williams here. That should be a pretty good pick. Yep, that'll be our fourth running back. So we'll grab him, and you know, hopefully he carves out a role down there. But you never really know. We'll see. We're at a 19% chance to win, so we've definitely more than doubled it. Okay, we're back on the clock, and we have a list of tight ends to choose from. And I'm actually going to take my favorite tight end of the group, which is not Zach Miller or Jermaine Gresham. It's Colby Fleener, who I think is going to have a huge bounce back year this year. I think he will be pretty good. We're obviously a little weak at tight end, but in a format like this where you don't get points per reception, tight end is kind of tough, because if you don't score a touchdown with your tight end, you're probably not getting much value from it. So we're going to end the draft with, depending on these last two picks, about a 19.3% chance to win, up from 8.3. And just looking at that pie chart, you can see how well we actually did.